What's the difference between hang and hung, and when do we use them? Well, this distinction stumps even some native speakers, to be honest. But I must warn you that the answer is a bit morbid and a bit profane. As a disclaimer, I designed Lexomancer to be fun and easily accessible, so my videos will never go past a PG-13 rating, even when discussing darker or profane language topics. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions, and let's get into it. In essence, hanged is only used when talking about execution. That's it. If you can say executed instead, if you were being less descriptive, then use hanged. Otherwise, use hung. This distinction really only exists in the past tense and with past participles, which are adjective-like words that come from verbs and can at times be used as if they were adjectives. Examples: writing is a present participle, written is a past participle. Some examples of their usage: I am writing, I have written, the writing desk, the written word. Hanging, the present participle, is used both when and when not talking about execution. Examples: the hanging criminal, the hanging chandelier. Past tense examples: he hanged from the neck until dead by order of the king. The criminal hanged on a cross in ancient Babylon. But the victim hung by her neck from the rafters. Use hung even when talking about death, unless it's specifically execution. Hanged would be completely obsolete were it not cemented in legal vocabulary from times when hanging as a punishment was more common. Several words and phrases exist in English that are only used in certain contexts, and use what is typically archaic language. Other examples of this include, be that as it may, holier than thou, be still my heart, blessed be, beloved, pronounced beloved, not beloved, so mote it be, and many more. There's still more to discuss, but please like this video if you found it helpful/interesting so far. Onward! When using the past participle of hang, however, context is everything. Hanged as a past participle follows the same rules I've already mentioned. The hanged man, etc. With hung, however, make sure to give context. Example: the painting was hung on the wall. He was hung by the neck from the rafters until dead. The hung painting, etc. But the hung man, and he was hung. Both use hung as slang for having a huge... If you don't know the profane meaning of that animal in English slang, I'm not telling you, but it's not hard to find, and it's easy to find hard. That's all you get on the subject. We're moving on. Outside of these two contexts, past participle and past tense, hang is a well-behaved verb and makes no distinction. This is typical of English in that the verb past tenses and past participles get irregular more often than other verb forms. Other forms of hang for sake of completeness. Present tense. They always hang the clothes on the clothesline before they go to work. He hangs at dawn. Gerund, using a verb as the subject of the sentence. Hanging clothes on a clothesline instead of putting them in the dryer is more cost-effective and may even be necessary for some fabrics. Hanging was a common death sentence in various forms throughout history. Imperative, commands, orders, demands, etc. Please hang up that plant holder before you go. Hang them, I say. Future tense. She will hang the picture on the wall when she gets home. They will hang for the murders of the Duke and Duchess of Winchester. Modal verbs. Verbs or verb forms that are not followed by an infinitive. I must hang that beautiful tapestry in my room. If we are caught, brothers, we shall hang by our necks in the public square before we can even worry about how to distribute the gold. Those monsters will hang this evening, and we shall then have our vengeance for what they did to Martha. Will you hang out with me and Steve next week? Infinitive. I want to hang the fairy lights up in my room. Whether or not the fool wants to hang does not signify in the eyes of the High Court, etc. Subscribe/follow for more language content. And don't unjustly execute things with your vocabulary now that you know how to use this verb. Even if that hanging object that always hits you on the head whenever you forget to duck deserves it. You know the one. Until next time, friends, happy language learning.